Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Shavana Wynn, and I am a medical education learning specialist. Today, we're going to talk about how to review practice questions and practice exams. We often emphasize the importance of completing practice questions, but what's even more important is how you review them. With that in mind, let's get started. First, let's explore why question review is so important. When we talk about reviewing questions, the first major benefit is that it helps you make informed decisions about what to study next. Instead of guessing or reviewing everything, your practice questions tell you exactly where to focus. You should also prioritize incorrect questions and weaknesses within topics. That's where the biggest score gains come from, not from restudying what you already know, but from addressing what's holding you back. Lastly, I want you to pay attention to patterns, trends, and high yield areas. One missed question doesn't mean much, but repeated errors, especially within high yield areas, those need attention, whether it's a content gap or a reasoning issue or a test taking habit. When you recognize the importance of reviewing questions, your studying becomes much more strategic, more efficient, and ultimately more effective. Next, let's explore three question review tips that you can implement for success. The first tip is to spend more time reviewing your incorrect questions than your correct ones. Incorrect show you exactly where your understanding or strategy broke down, and that's where the biggest opportunities for improvement live. Next, it's important to distinguish between knowledge cracks and knowledge gaps. A knowledge crack means that you mostly knew the concept but applied it incorrectly or missed a detail, while a knowledge gap means you truly don't know the content. Those two situations require very different study strategies. Finally, make sure you identify whether an error was a content issue or a test taking issue. Some mistakes might come from missing content, but many come from misreading the question, rushing, changing your answers, or misinterpreting data. When you review questions with these distinctions in mind, your study time becomes more focused and your progress becomes much more consistent. Next, let's shift into how to actually review individual practice questions and exams. I recognize that many of you are working with different question banks. I'll be demonstrating this using AAMC materials, particularly the online only bundle, but keep in mind that the process is universal and transferable to any other third party resource. First, click on your score report to access your previously answered questions. For this example, I am using the AAMC practice exam number one. Next, click on the section that you would like to review. For the purposes of this video, we will review our questions in the chemical and physical foundation of biological systems section. Next, click on the content and skills breakdown tab to access the individual areas and the scores achieved. When you review your score report, one of the first things to do is identify areas where you performed well. These are the areas that make us feel good, right? In this example, the highlighted content categories indicated here in green show strong performance. This doesn't mean that you skip the review on these entirely, but it does mean that they require minimal review. Next, we look at medium scoring areas indicated here in yellow. These aren't strong, but they're also not major weaknesses either, so they don't need a full content overhaul. This is often where you can complete a targeted review and make strategy adjustments in order to make really quick score gains. Low scoring areas are true priorities. These are the concepts that need focused attention. Here, you can see five low scoring areas indicated in red. The scores in these areas usually reflect content gaps, not just careless mistakes. To review AAMC questions, I would suggest clicking the review button indicated here in blue. This review button will allow you to review the questions grouped by the topic rather than in numerical order. Reviewing in this targeted way helps you to spot patterns, repeated misconceptions, reasoning areas, or any strategy issues that you might be having. This makes your review more efficient and your studying more targeted. Next, let's shift into how to actually review individual practice questions and exams. When reviewing a question, start by revisiting the passage, the question, and all answer choices to reorient yourself. Next, go to the incorrect answer choice you selected and walk through your original thought process. Ask yourself, why did this answer make sense to me at the time? Then review the correct answer choice and focus on how you should have reasoned your way to that answer. Answer explanations are provided to help you with this process. If the issue is content related, you can use the linked Khan Academy lesson for targeted review, but only after you have fully worked through the question itself. Using your data this way helps you study smarter, not longer, and keeps your focus where it will have the biggest impact. To wrap up, remember that practice questions aren't just about checking your score, they're about learning from your mistakes. When you slow down, review thoughtfully, and look for patterns, your studying becomes more focused and your progress more consistent. Thank you for your time today. We wish you continued success on your MCAT journey. Happy studying and take care.